Welcome to Shape Software Special Get It Done Edition. I'm your host, Jimi Ryan. And I'm going to go over a brief outline of what we're going to go over today. We're going to cover a couple different topics, but our end all be all goal is to help you use Shape or whatever lead management system that you're currently using more effectively, to get more business out of it and to effectively squeeze all of the juice out of what you already have. And first and foremost, most valid question to ask is, why the heck should I listen to Jimi Ryan? He's the chief creative officer making podcasts and videos for Shape Software. So that's a super valid question. So to answer that, it's kind of difficult to edify yourself, but look, this is just a solo recording, so I'm forced to. I've been a loan officer for 15 years. I started in October of 2007. Man, with no money, no experience, and no training. It was probably the worst part. And despite all that, I figured out how to make a great living being a 100% commission loan officer. And I started out calling leads, and they were LendingTree leads. For my first month, I closed 5 loans, but my second month, I closed 0. I was really good at selling, but I was kind of terrible at, processing and underwriting. And it took all of my energy in that next month to close it all. And then I had 0 the next month. I wasn't really that good at the processing and underwriting part of that. So eventually I hired that out. I always grew my business in 2 different ways. First, I was a direct to consumer loan officer, and almost half of my business came from leads. And truly, I loved it because it was something that I was really good at. I always loved calling leads, engaging with people, building a relationship over the phone, and closing. And the second way that I grew was I would leverage pre-approvals that I got from direct to consumer, and then I would refer them out. And basically, I was a hybrid loan officer before that was a thing. I would not just give leads to business partners, but I would give pre-approvals, and not just to real estate agents, but to financial planners. And they would in turn give me back business. And the reason why is that was easy for me to do, because look, I'm already getting the at-bats. It just makes sense for me to refer them to other people. And they actually ended up keeping them with me more often. So I worked with some of the most epic people in the state of Wisconsin when I originated. The number 1 realtor in Wisconsin, number 1 realtor in my county, for example, some of the best financial planners truly in the whole Midwest. And the reason why was because I was able to give back. And what made me the best at it is what we're going to go over today. So I would come in the morning and I would do my entire call session, the whole entire thing, every single call from start to finish. And then I would move on with my day. Basically, I'd get it done and then get the heck out. And what I want you to get out of this are little micro things that you can make, just little tiny adjustments to your day that really get in the way of running your day. And my goal here is to help you make your day more efficient and more effective. And more importantly, and truly this is my why, and I think this has a lot of synergy with the CEO of Shape's why, is that, look, when it's 5 or 6 o'clock at night and you're not at the dinner table with your family, if you're coming home super late and your dinner's in the microwave, if during dinner time you are at the end of your driveway pacing back and forth, talking to some agent or some client that's cussing you out about something with your whole family watching you out the window while they're all eating dinner, man, I tell you what, that's a major, major loss. And truly, that's what losing looks like. And I think that a lot of people are missing the boat with that. And believe me, I've done it. I've done exactly just that. And I'm not very proud of it. So, I had to really look hard in the mirror and figure out what I need to focus on. And part of that is, look, when I'm at work, I need to work. I need to be hyper efficient. And look, I'm super ADD. I'm doing 20,000 things at the same time. And I kind of feed off of that, but I'm also easily distracted. And I've never met a top producer out there. Well, I met very few that aren't the same way as that are super crazy ADD. Most top producers, they aren't very good at paperwork, but they're good on the phone. And the problem is that we get dragged off the phone and we get out of selling. And so what I'm going to go over is 3 different points, and I'm going to just list them off real quick. So the first is seconds matter. Second point is, what stands in the way of your call session? And then the third point is, don't make me think. So first is seconds matter. So I wrote down a couple of different stats, and I'm going to go over with these. I think you're going to really love these stats. So seconds matter. It takes 41 and a half seconds to call a lead, leave a recorded voicemail, disposition it, type a note, and be calling the next lead. So 41 seconds. And how do I know that? It's basically, I tracked thousands and thousands and thousands of calls. I was crazy OCD about tracking this stuff. I would track the second that I started a call session all the way to the end of it, and I would divide it up. 41 and a half seconds. It's not 41, it's not 42, it's 41 and a half. So if you were to make 100 calls in this super efficient type of a way, it will take you 1 hour, 9 minutes, 10 seconds to complete that, assuming that you're not distracted, you go through the whole list, and you talk to no one. So now I want to just add some things to this. So let's just say that you add 5 seconds and you send a templated email that you prepare while you're on the phone and it's ringing. You prepare it, you drag like a signature down, and you just do a template, whatever it is, and you send that right after you're making a disposition for the lead. And then let's also say that you take 5 seconds to send a templated text that you are also preparing while you are, calling the lead. So after you disposition it, you send the email, you send the text, and let's just say each one of those takes 5 seconds. Guys, that adds up to 16 minutes, 40 seconds longer. I think that's crazy, but it's an hour, 25 minutes now is what your total is. So now let's just say that you add 15 seconds, which is generous, to leave a short voicemail and didn't mess it up. So you didn't hit asterisk and re-record it. So now that 15 seconds makes it 25 minutes longer. So now you're at a total of 1 hour, 50 minutes, 50 seconds. All right. So now let's just say that you take 30 seconds on average to decide who the next best person to call between your calls is. Okay. So you're not operating off of a prioritized list. You have to decide what is going to be the next best call. Okay. Just that 30 seconds adds 50 minutes to your call session. So now you're at 2 hours, 40 minutes, 50 seconds. And again, assuming that you don't get distracted, go to the bathroom, get more coffee, respond to an email, respond to a text, and again, talk to no one. So let's go even crazier. And I'm sorry if this hurts people to hear, but I am going there. So now let's just say that you are working off of a spreadsheet. I hope you're not, but let's just say that you are. You're copy and pasting numbers. You're typing notes in a chaotic manner in different systems. You're hand dialing. You're sending a templated email, text after the call, spending time sorting through your list, deciding who to call next. And let's just say you're super quick about all that. And it only takes you an extra 30 seconds. You're now at 3 hours, 30 minutes, 50 seconds to again not have any distractions and do nothing but call and again talk to no one. That's over 3 times as long that would have taken you if you had a super dialed in system, and we wonder why we don't get it done. Look, we wonder why we don't make our 100 calls. We wonder why we don't get it through our whole list. And look, I've done it the last way. I've done it off of spreadsheets. I've done it off of copy and pasting. I've done it hand dialing. And let me tell you, it's like driving a race car and you can't get out of first gear. So worse than that, it would frustrate me and it would exhaust me. I would end up coming home super late to, again, my dinner in the microwave. And not like some TV dinner type of thing, like something that's handmade where it's kind of disrespectful to be, heating it up in the microwave. I just knew that when that was happening to me that I needed to figure something out and I needed to find a way to get it done. So with Shape, there's a prioritized view. And if you don't know how to use it and optimize it to be calling and averaging 41 and a half seconds, look, I just got to say, it's simply mindset. And you can't stop. Once you start your call session, you cannot stop. As soon as you are dispositioning a lead and leaving the recorded voicemail, you need to be calling that next lead immediately right after. And I'm not even talking about wait a couple seconds. I'm saying it's the next half second of what you do. And you got to just do. You got to plow through it. You got to be a bulldozer. And if you leverage Shape the correct way, I promise you, if you make 100 calls, you will get it done in an hour, 9 minutes. But I hope that it will actually take longer because you're probably going to talk to some people during that time and hopefully you get a chance to pitch your service. So, all right, next point. What stands in the way of you starting your call session? So basically you have to make it so that you don't have to think about what to do next when you're in the zone. You get ready, you get hyped, you sing your affirmations in the mirror, you get into the office and you're ready to crush it, but then the phone rings and there's a problem. It requires your immediate attention. You come off your high. You engage the distraction and you get it done. Yahoo for you. But then your phone rings again, another distraction. You are the only one that can handle this distraction. You fall into it. You devote your energy and attention on the thing that only you could do. You get it done. You feel good. The phone rings again and again and again and again, and so on and so on and so on and so on. If you let your day run you, you will not run your day. Super cliche, but it's just the fact. That's what it is. And the way that I want to frame this is that, look, like nobody's going to feel bad for you if you don't complete your revenue generating tasks. No one. No one's going to feel bad about it but you. It will be the end of the day. You'll come home late, dinner in the microwave, and your kids are already in bed. Congratulations, So let me tell you that you can only live like that for so long, maybe weeks, months, maybe years, but eventually you'll wake up fed up. And I hope that it doesn't take you that long. It took me a minute. Okay, more time than I'd care to admit, but you have to make it so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel every single morning. So what is the solution? So what I did was, I'm a little old school, so I would do it differently today. But at the time, when I first did this, I had a Word doc on my desktop computer that I would open up. And eventually I printed it and I actually just had this in front of my desk when I walked in. So you have a document and you type out every single thing that you need to get done in your morning to be in front of your desk with a coffee in front of you and your CRM open and ready to start your income generating session. I call it a call session. So the only way to do it is to take all thoughts out of it. So this is what my list was. It's 16 steps. I'm going to just fly through it. So first is walk in the office, set my bag down, turn on computer. I would always shut it off at night. Take off jacket. Go to coffee maker and turn it on. Come back to computer and log in. Go to coffee maker and make coffee. Go to bathroom. Pick up coffee. Sit down at desk. Open Google Chrome with the favorite tabs that are open at startup. Log into Lead Manager. Log new leads in Lead Tracker. Log start time in Lead Tracker, because again, I told you I was OCD. Initiate first call. Sip coffee. Guys, I wrote out, it was 16 steps. And I know it sounds so friggin' stupid, but guys, it was so freeing for me that I decided that I was going to do this. And look, I had this so dialed in that, like, for real, I would be pissed if somebody was making coffee on my number 9 step of pick up coffee and like they were in my way. Like, get out of my way. I was so obsessed with it. Like, you need to get out of my way. I can't let anything trip me up. I need to get started with my call session. And that's kind of the mentality that you have to have. And look, I know it might sound crazy to have written, go to the bathroom on my list, but let me tell you, after a couple weeks of doing it, like, I was just totally in my groove. I didn't even have to look at the list after a couple weeks of doing it. I was just in a flow. And it made it so simple that I couldn't mess it up. So if you don't spend time on offense, again, no one is going to feel bad for you. But the offense scores the goals. It should be your mission every day to stay on offense as long as you can. By making offense your very first task of the day and not stopping until you get every single task done, it makes it possible for you to score a goal. And I want to, I guess, make a notice and an asterisk here. Notice that check my email wasn't on the list. Check my voicemail wasn't on the list either. Truly, though, to be on the offense-defense type of mentality, those are defense tasks, and they don't score goals. And nearly every time a voicemail or email can be handled later in the day, in the afternoon, after you're done with your call session. So spending time on defense is a losing battle. If you don't score a goal, you don't win. So stay on offense, at least while you're at your best, which is in the morning before you handle all your bullshit. So this is impossible to do if you don't have a plan of attack that is easily executable, well thought through, which leads me to point number 3. Don't make me think. I'll say it again. Don't make me think. So when I go into battle, I don't want to think about what could happen later. To win, you must be fully present and fully engaged. You only have a limited amount of time to be fully engaged, and it's so easy to get off course and to get distracted. If you get distracted or stop your task, that the task that actually moves the needle, you have lost. The person that can make a call and then immediately after make the next call and the next call and the next call and the next call will outperform the one that has to think between each task. I tell a story. This is one of my favorite stories that I like to tell about the Jeep and the Ferrari. So I'm a Ferrari. Gosh, listen to me say that. I'm a Ferrari. Just I don't know. I think that's kind of funny to say it and look at me say it. But truly, I'm a Ferrari. So I can drive 200 miles per hour, but only on a racetrack with perfect pavement, no potholes, and a clear view of the finish line. I once told a manager of mine this, and he told me that I needed to be a Jeep, someone that can traverse unlevel roads with bumps and go straight uphill, someone that can go through rough terrain and keep going. I lasted there like 6 months, by the way. I'm not a Jeep. And that's basically what it is. He told me that I needed to be a Jeep. And I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm an excellent salesperson. And if you give me a racetrack, I can go 200 miles per hour. So it's exhausting. I think it's the most exhausting thing in the world for a top producing type of mentality person to be stuck in a system that doesn't move at their speed. So the question is your CRM, is your lead management, is your call strategy a racetrack or is it a mountain? Are you a Jeep or are you a Ferrari? Ferraris require a prioritized view of the tasks that need to be done. Ferraris need an organized list. They need to be able to click to call so they can be pedaled to the metal. Click to leave a voicemail, click to leave a note that triggers text and email campaigns, and then call the next lead. Are you going 200 miles an hour? Or are you going 35? Is your business a mountain to climb each day? If it is, I can probably guess your bank account balance within a few $1,000s. And if I'm off on that, man, I can predict that your life is probably pretty miserable because I've been there. I'm speaking from experience. And if you've had success in the past being inefficient, congratulations, but that's not going to work anymore. The professional that optimizes their process to take the thought out of it will run circles around the professional that doesn't. You don't need to be smart. You just need to be great at sales. All top performers I've ever met are terrible at the details, and they hire that all out when they can afford it. Details involve thinking about what to do next. The top only focuses on flooring it from money-making task to the next. That's it. That's all that they do. Are your tasks prioritized? Are you going to let someone win simply because they're more efficient and out-tech you? So to wrap up, make your calls. Do it first thing in the morning. Don't waste time between calls. Call the next lead immediately after the last. Seconds add up to minutes and minutes add up to hours. Don't allow distractions when you're driving in your business. Stay on offense, handle defense at the end of the day. And lastly, race to the finish line and get it done. All right, thanks for joining me today. And special thank you to Shape Software for providing a racetrack, smooth, level, clean, without potholes, and a clear side of the finish line. Leverage Shape like your pedal is to the metal and you're racing like a Ferrari. Thanks for joining. I'm Jimi Ryan.